Hi, I'm Jack with the Cats Connection News, and today we're here with...
Mr. McAnulty, the business teacher at Mount Olive High School.
So, Mr. McAnulty has been teaching here for 1 year now, or started this year.
A little over 4 months.
Yeah, started this year. But let's jump into the questions. How long have you been out of school?
How long have I been out of school? Well, that depends on what we're talking about. As far as like bachelor's degree, a lot longer than I'd actually like to admit. I graduated with my bachelor's degree in 2008 in history and secondary education. I graduated with a specialist degree in administration in 2014, and I actually graduated with my second master's in 2021 in American history. So I've been out probably about 3 years.
So, would you say you're a big fan of history then?
I am one of the biggest history nerds there is. So that was my favorite class growing up when I was in school. Those were my favorite teachers in high school, so that's why I wanted to be a history teacher.
Okay. Have you always wanted to be a teacher?
No. When I was in high school, I was going to be the voice of the Cardinals. I was going to go to Mizzou, and I was going to study journalism, and you were going to hear me on KMOX. And then when I was just about a little bit older than you, I had a interview to be an intern at KMOX, which is where the Cardinals play. And unlike other people, when I get nervous, I make jokes. And I made a joke in the interview that they didn't like. And they told me that the interview was over and I was no longer going to be an intern at KMOX. So I did have to, I did pivot. One of the things that I actually liked doing in high school, we had to get community service hours. So one of the things I did was I coached Little League, and I was like a teacher assistant through our school. So you could go help other teachers. And I really liked interacting with students, and I really liked doing that. So that was kind of something that I'd always been told I should do. But, you know, when I was in high school, it just wasn't on my radar.
How long have you been teaching?
So this is actually my 14th year.
How many schools have you taught at?
How many schools have I taught at? So I started out teaching middle school reading, and then I moved up to University City High School. I taught there 7 years. Then I taught at Rittner for 4 years, and now I've been here.
What school would you say is your favorite?
Well, Mount Olive, definitely.
Do you feel obligated to say that?
I do not. Actually, I get paid every time I mention the name, so you know.
What classes did you have the hardest time in as a student?
So when I was in school, they took all the honors kids and put them in accelerated math classes. So I was taking math classes that were 2 grades higher than where I should have been. And so I kind of crashed out in math. So I really didn't like math as a kid. And that's kind of why I got into history and English, because I wanted to go as far away from math as I could.
I'm good at math. I'm just not really big on it.
See, in my experience, you're either really good at writing or you're really good at math and like logic. So I'm probably somebody who's probably better at reading and writing. So there you go.
Was there anything that you wish you would have done differently in school?
Yes. So I could apply to Mizzou on September 1st. So I dropped that application in the mail September 1st. And by September 7th, I was admitted to Mizzou, which was like the second week of my senior year. So after I got admitted into Mizzou, I went back in the next day, told my counselor I was dropping all of my honors classes. And I had like the easiest senior schedule that I could. And it really messed me up because A, I had to take a lot of classes that I had already taken and I just didn't get the college credit for. And B, I was really out of shape because, you know, having 4 PE classes doesn't really prepare you for the rigor of college. So I really had to get back into shape my freshman year, and that first semester really, really was hard.
So did you like PE?
I mean, who didn't like PE?
I'd say there's a fair amount of people who don't.
Oh, you know, at my school, you know, PE was pretty fun.
How is the school treating you?
So my standard line is the freshmen are treating me great. No, one of the things that I really admire about this school is that you guys seem like you've had a lot of teachers who have left in the last couple of years, and you guys are really make people earn it. So I really respect that. If I was probably your age and in high school, I would probably act the same way. So I really enjoy getting to meet you guys. I really enjoy interacting with you. And I think as we get to know each other more, we're starting to become more comfortable with each other. So I really actually do like it here.
Do you have a favorite student?
I do. I think her name's Reagan.
That's wonderful. What class does she take?
She's a freshman, so she would take computer science. Freshmen have to take computer science for a year, starting this year. So,
what has been your favorite thing about teaching so far?
What has been my favorite thing about teaching here so far?
Yeah.
Really just getting to meet all of the new faces and kind of learn your personalities and just get to interact with you guys, because honestly, I hadn't taught for 3 years. I hadn't been in a school setting for 3 years. I really missed that interaction part. And so that's kind of why I came back to the classroom. And just the fact that I get to do that every day with you guys, that's been the best part of teaching here.
So what made you stop teaching?
So 3 years ago, I got really sick and I thought I had COVID. I thought I had flu. I thought there was just something really wrong with me. And I would come to school and I'd be sweating every day and I didn't know why. And we were doing a fire drill and I walked my class outside and I couldn't walk back up the steps when I came back. So I went to the hospital thinking that I was having a panic attack. And they said, actually, no, we're going to need you in the OR for emergency open heart surgery. So we'll be doing that in 15 minutes. Didn't give me a lot of time to prepare. So I had ended up with a heart infection because I had strep and I never went to the doctor and got it checked out. And that ended up having open heart surgery. So once I had open heart surgery, I decided, yeah, it's time to take a break from class for a while.
Do you think your teaching has changed after what you've been through?
Oh, yes. COVID and that happened like right back to back. And I think that has really changed how I teach. And I'll be honest with you, if a teacher hasn't changed the way they approach after COVID or after going through something like that, there's a big problem. The biggest thing that I've really made me understand is like emotional learning. So knowing that you have to be emotionally okay in order to learn, that's the big thing that has taught me, and that has really taught me to like take care of yourself and to like help students take care of themselves. Because if you don't take care of yourself, then that's when you're not able to do things.
Yeah. Are you looking into getting higher education?
So back when I was younger and before all those things happened, I wanted to be a principal. If I wanted to be a principal at this point in time, I'd have to go back and get a doctorate. I'm not sure if I want to go back and get a doctorate yet. I'll never say never. Just like, 3 years ago, I didn't think I was ever going to be teaching business at Mount Olive High School, but here I am. So I don't ever want to say never. But if I went back to higher education, that's probably what it would be, is to get a doctorate to be a principal.
Well, I think that's all I have for you.
All right.
If there's anything you want to ask me?
Is there anything I want to ask you? So, how do you feel on your first interview?
This is my first teacher interview.
Okay.
And I think it's honestly my best interview so far.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not as nervous.
Okay.
So it's definitely way better than my last two.
Right. Well, I mean, for what it's worth, I thought you did a pretty good job.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You asked me the hard-hitting questions.
All right. Well, I guess that's it.
Yeah.